Imagine the most chaotic, just brutal and humiliating public execution you can possibly think of.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant thought at all.
No, not at all. But now imagine that every single seemingly random act of cruelty in that scene wasn't actually an accident. Like, it was a meticulously scripted blueprint written centuries earlier.
Right, which is exactly what we're getting into today.
Exactly. Welcome to today's Deep Dive. We are looking at the biblical text of Matthew 27, verses 27 through 44, alongside some devotional reflection notes for April 2, 2026. And our mission today is to explore how these sources take this ancient execution and reframe it, not as a tragic accident, but as a deliberately fulfilled plan.
Because when you read the scene, it is notoriously gritty, you know?
Oh, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus is mocked by the soldiers. They strip him, they give him this scarlet robe, a crown of thorns, a reed, and they're just yelling like, "Hail, King of the Jews!"
It's just incredibly degrading.
And then he's taken to Golgotha, which means place of a skull. And they offer him wine mixed with gall, which, he refuses. He is crucified between two robbers. And the religious leaders and the passersby are just ruthlessly mocking him, shouting things like, "He saved others, he cannot save himself."
Yeah, it just feels like complete, absolute chaos.
It does. But then right in the middle of all that, the text zooms in on this incredibly mundane, almost bureaucratic moment.
Right, verse 35.
Yes, verse 35. Jesus is on the cross, and the soldiers are just sitting there casting lots, like rolling dice, to divide up his garments. It is so jarring. You have this massive, dramatic execution, and suddenly the narrative just pauses to care about a wardrobe dispute.
It really breaks the momentum of the story.
It's like, imagine reading a gripping true crime thriller, right? And suddenly the author stops to describe the criminals casually splitting up the loose change they found in the victim's cup holder. Like modern workers just taking home leftover office supplies.
Yeah, just grabbing some pens on the way out the door.
Exactly. So if this was just a mundane, everyday practice for Roman executioners, because our sources say that was a standard reward for their labor, why did they make this specific detail the focal point of the reflection?
Well, that is the ultimate aha moment of the whole text. To a rational modern reader, it just seems incredibly cruel. But recording it isn't about documenting Roman administrative customs.
Right.
It is actually the exact fulfillment of an ancient prophecy. King David predicted this exact scenario centuries earlier in Psalm 22, verse 18, down to the dividing of the garments and the casting of lots.
Wait, really? The specific detail about the clothes?
Yes, and it actually goes even further. Even the crowd's mockery, people wagging their heads and shouting, he saved others, that mirrors Psalm 22, verse 8.
Wow. So it's not a tangent at all. It completely shifts the entire narrative.
It totally does. Because of these fulfilled prophecies, the crucifixion wasn't some sudden chaotic act. It wasn't caused by the whim of some god losing control of the situation.
Because it was all mapped out.
Exactly. Every cruel, ordinary, gritty detail was the realization of a long-promised word regarding eternal life.
That is wild. It takes a scene of complete defeat and reveals this invisible order behind the chaos.
Which is exactly the listener takeaway here. The sources use this historical account as a lesson in trusting God during confusing or painful situations.
Right, showing that even in your darkest moments, a faithful plan might be unfolding.
Yeah, exactly. Finding hope when the immediate reality is just bleak.
I love that. So to wrap up our deep dive today, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over on your own.
It's a really good question to ask yourself.
Yeah, so if a perfectly mundane, cruel detail, like bored soldiers rolling dice for clothes, was actually the linchpin of a centuries-old promise, what seemingly random or difficult details in your own life might actually be quietly weaving together a larger, purposeful narrative that you just cannot see yet?